Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rich Life Vlog, where I'm promoting rich living through a performance fasting focused lifestyle. So, I told you guys on the other video, the intro video, of I really want to do a vlog kind of talking about the specifics of, I'm 12 days into the video and what I've been going through, what I'm doing. And it's just going so amazing, and how I'm down already from 290 down to 271, and I'm down 19 pounds in 12 days. And so I just want to talk about those 12 days, because a really big motivator for me is to show everybody, the process that this is, so that anybody who's like me and 100 plus pounds overweight, or even if you just have 30 pounds to lose, whatever it is, whatever you want to get to, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, but you could see somebody's whole journey through it. I want to show, and that's really what I wanted and wanted to find, but I couldn't find out there. And so I thought, well, why not me just put it out there? So, just going over this first 12 days, I'll tell you, and kind of what I'm doing for those of you that don't know. I am doing a fasting lifestyle, and I'm eating every 48 hours at dinner. And for that dinner, I'm trying to do the big portion of it to be vegetables, and a small portion of it to be like a fatty meat, like maybe a steak, or like, I think the a really perfect meal and what I'm doing for me would be like maybe 1.5 pounds of broccoli and like 4 or 5 strips of bacon. That's not what I've been eating so far, but I'm getting there, and it's easier and easier to get there. And it's been amazing to me that just the changes my body has gone through, and how adapted I am to this lifestyle already in the first 12 days, and how great I feel, and how clear my thinking is. Like, it's almost like I was walking around in a fog before. And so, just starting it out, a big thing that I'm doing is, I'm taking an electrolyte drink. So I started out and I did a 2-day fast for the first 48 hours. And I was taking my electrolyte drink, which is just, and I'll do another video on this and kind of show what it is that I'm taking. But, it's just potassium and salt mixed with water, a good water. And that has just made me feel amazing. But as far as the first couple of days, I think from doing that, from taking that electrolyte drink, I really didn't feel very hungry. But I was having the cravings hit me. I felt like my sugar addiction kind of gave me kind of a headache, and I was just craving white carbs and sugar. I was tired. For the first 3 or 4 days, I took a nap every day. I just whenever I got the chance, because I was so tired. I was not feeling that good. But what was a big motivator for me was that waking up in the morning, and I make sure to weigh myself at the same time in the morning, and I'm tracking that specifically, the weights, and so that I can really see where I'm at. I'm also writing kind of a journal entry to how I feel. Day number 2, I got ketone strips, and I started to use those to test myself to see if I was in ketosis. And I started to get into ketosis sometime in day 2. And then I was so hungry day 2 that night, whenever I finally ate. And I could have forced myself to go another couple days if I wanted, but I just wanted to eat. And so just the mental stress, the mental habits and things like that, I remember getting my cravings really come in the evening. And I think that's just from kind of like my biological clock of when I'm used to eating the most. And so day 2, I decided I was going to eat. I hadn't even really prepped as far as meals for this, on what I was going to do, or much thought about it. I was I think that the main focus with this really should just be the fasting and how long you can fast. But so I threw a meal together of bacon, eggs, and I used regular tortillas, which I found out later have like 20 something carbs, and ate that. And then I also had picked up some pork rinds or fried pork skins, some chitlins or whatever they're called. I'd never even eaten these things before, but a big thing for me is like tortilla chips. I love tortilla chips and salsa, and I read online that was a good substitute because it had absolutely zero carbs. What I think I'm finding out now is that a better substitute is like vegetables that you could dip into the salsa than this, because I bought it was a small bag of it, but I bought it, I ate the whole thing. So this is day 2, and I was just sick that night. As far as sick to my stomach, I just felt like crud. I just went to bed and slept. And then I woke up the next day and it had totally, I don't know if it was the tortilla with the carbs, the 2 tortillas or all that, but I had knocked myself out of ketosis. And so in a way, I kind of had to start over again, which I don't recommend. Make sure with your meals you are staying away from sugar and white carbs. You don't want to start over again. I think especially early on, the goal really is to just fast as long as you can and get the weight off as quick as you can. But for me, I had that meal, and even though I felt like crud, I weighed the next day and I hadn't gained any weight. And so I was excited about that and continue to lose. I ate, and then 2 days later, and I was still dropping weight. And then 2 days later, I finally, so day 4, I got into the deepest ketosis that I had. And then so day 4, the deepest ketosis on the scale that I have, and I was feeling really good. I wasn't even that hungry, but everybody was going out to eat Indian food, and so we went and ate Indian food. So I thought that's probably not that bad. It's probably fatty and had chicken curry. And I specifically asked them, do y'all put sugar in this curry? And they said no. But I mean, I ended up eating some of the bread there. Just these habits that I'm trying to break. So I did that, and then I feel like that didn't put me too much out of ketosis, and the next day I lost weight again, and I felt really good even the next day. And I thought that's whenever I started to realize that I was really onto something. So on 5 or 6, I started to notice that I had more energy and it was more constant throughout the day. That while I was, just on this diet, I felt amazing. And so my body was starting to be adapted by that point. Day 5, 6, and 7, it was getting used to this, eating once every 2 days at the most. And so for that round, I went 3 days without eating, and it really wasn't a problem at all doing that. I felt good. On the 3rd day, I almost felt like I didn't even need to eat that 3rd day, and I kind of just did it anyways because the next day I had a ton to do, and I knew I wasn't going to get to eat the next day, so I went ahead and ate a good meal that didn't have any white carbs in it or any sugar, and I made sure there was none of that in that meal. And then I was losing weight again and feeling even better the next day, and I think I went down in ketosis a little bit, but I stayed in the deepest parts of ketosis on this scale that's on these strips. So it's kind of motivating for me to keep in that ketosis. And the big motivation is really coming from just the weight is continuing to drop off. In my meals, I'm eating really good tasting meals that I like and I'm happy with. And so I feel like, now I'm 12 days in. I've eaten 4 meals, and I feel great. I feel like if I wanted to, I could go 10 days without eating. And I'm going to be doing that, sometime coming up. I I'm just working my way into this thing, but I know that anything that I've ever tried before, I never felt this good. Everything was just continued pure torture and just total uncomfortableness. And I was uncomfortable for the first couple of days, but now that I'm adapted and my body's adapted to this lifestyle, I feel really good. I really think that this is something that I can easily keep up for as a lifestyle change. And I'm getting to the point already where I'm looking for nutrient rich just food to eat whenever I do have my eating windows. And because I know that I'm gonna have to live off this for the next couple of days, so it's making me make better choices. I've been eating things like bok choy that I've never had before in my life, broccoli, carrots. I'm eating, lots of green veggies is what I'm trying out, and also something that I'm doing for every single meal that I have is at that point I'm taking my vitamins, my multivitamins. I also take garlic, vitamin D. I'm taking that. That's helping me. I'm also taking apple cider vinegar, and if I've had heartburn some of the days, and that's something I've struggled with anyways. But I feel like it's already way better than it was. I mean, I was popping Tums and Pepcid every single day, and now I'm dealing with it I've had it, I think, 3 of the days so far. I've had a little bit of too much stomach acid and taking a half a teaspoon of baking soda and mixing it with 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and just taking that as a shot is a great thing. I've also been taking some organic lemon juice. And so I could show you guys some of this that I'm taking, just so you can get an idea. Apple cider vinegar, make sure you get it with Mother. It's the health benefits for your body for that stuff that I'm just reading more and more. Everybody should be taking apple cider vinegar. I found a organic lemon juice concentrate. This stuff is cheap for my electrolyte drink. I've got some Himalayan pink salt, and I'm taking half of a teaspoon of that with a liter of water. And I'm also taking a full teaspoon of potassium, and I'm getting that from this no salt product. You could buy potassium pills and all this stuff, but this was so cheap. It was just at the store. A lot of people online are recommending it, and it gets you potassium, so your electrolytes are just constant, and you're not running out of electrolytes. And a good water too. So the salt water, electrolyte drink, salt water that I'm drinking, I'm making sure that I'm taking good water. So I just buy a spring water, because the water out of the tap here is not that good, and I feel like it makes me just pee a lot. And whenever I take a good water, I feel like I don't have that. So I think most well waters are good. I've ordered some pH strips to test all this stuff, but the salt water is kind of too much for me. And cayenne pepper is really good as well. And so you can add that to your salt water as much as you could take. And it really doles down the salt. I'm not much of a salt person. But the cayenne pepper also is really good for your hunger as well. And has been, I think, helping me not be hungry while I'm taking it. And this stuff, it's so cheap. It's so cheap to get, and it really keeps your stomach prepped. And so whenever you're eating these meals, you're not having issues eating every couple days because your stomach is still prepped and going. And so, I mean, that's what it is. That's my first 12 days. I'm really going to try to do a video, once every week, once every 2 weeks, and keep you guys updated on my journey. I want to hear about your guys' journey and what you're doing. I'm excited to get rid of this, and I really think that in a couple months I'll be there, and the speed at which it's going to happen is going to be, it's just motivating me so much already. So with that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great night and take care. Bye.